Welcome back, everybody. Gringos Liberados, Season 4, Episode 19, I believe we're on.
Yep.
I'm 4x4. That is RMC, and that's the logo in the middle because Trajan is ill. And scheduling is hard, and we couldn't get anybody in, but that's okay. Be a two-man show today. We'll see how long it goes. I think it'll go about the same amount of time. You and I can yap for a while on this stuff. How are you, RMC? How was CD yesterday? You were live for the first time this split?
Yeah, and I found out that this week is apparently the super week, so I'm being dropped into
super week.
Yeah, I'm being dropped into the deep end of it. It feels like a lot has changed, like a lot of roster movements in CD, but at the same time, it feels like nothing has changed. Like I went in and I was like, okay, let's get to like new mechanics, new macro, and I'm like, nope, same old macro where teams are not doing things and they just kind of sit around when they shouldn't. The players are good, I guess, but it's like, I don't know, there's some conspicuously absent names. Ninja Kiwi is vanished off the face of the earth now.
Oh, no.
I don't know where
he's just Ninja.
Yep.
all that is left in his place was a Kiwi.
Not even the Kiwi was missing there. Absolutely no traces of him. Don't know what happened with that. Linkus was missing for a while, but he's managed to find a team again. I think Laleko is also not on a team this split. So yeah, is
Kissy playing 80 carry? Is that what I heard?
Yeah, he is.
How's that going?
He landed like 2 chains of corruptions yesterday.
Okay, that's good. It's better than 0. I've seen games where guys hit 0.
True. Hey, his early game was kind of rough, but he had value mid to late, and they won. So
okay, yeah. I guess that's. What do you think is more expected? If you're role swapping from mid 80 carry, would you expect the team fighting to be better than the laning, kind of initially, or vice versa? Because I feel like laning, yes, laning is still laning, and like team fighting on an 80 carry and like orb walking and like you gotta do all that stuff, and that might take a while to learn. But you've also got to learn like completely new matchups, and you've got to learn synergies as well. So I feel like the laning could take a while. What do you think? Was that expected?
Yeah, I agree with you. I think laning is probably the tougher switch. It's like your timings are different as well. Like when can you roam? When do your waves hit? Mid wave especially moves differently from side waves. So it's slightly tougher. Your levels are different. Instead of hitting, level 2 off that first minion off the second wave, you're waiting to you take a bit more CS to kind of hit that level, and then it matters a lot more as well trying to hit level 2, because level 2 in mid, it doesn't usually automatically result in trade, but in bot lanes, you hit 2 and you immediately press. So there's a lot of differences in laning, which comes through. I'd expect it to be harder, but like I was saying on stream yesterday too, like Kissy is a bit of a different one, because his champo in the mid lane was already kind of 80 carries, right? Like he had that Tristana that he was kind of known for. He played the Corki quite a bit. So champ wise, I feel like it's an easier curve for Kissy than I'd expect for other mid laners.
And I heard that Kojima and Grevthar had good days.
Yes.
Or no, not Kojima. Scamber.
Okay, yeah. I was gonna say Kojima. I mean, Kojima won yesterday, which is good, because I heard Red Academy obviously got gutted since a bunch of them got promoted up to tier 1 to LTA South. So it was a good gutting. So Kojima joined that side and they won yesterday, which was good. Grevthar is looking a bit like a carry Grevthar, which I feel like we've not seen since the days of Kled Mid. Dude, that's kind of cool.
Forever the most interesting and controversial player, and see like the spread of opinions available on him is just.
It's funny too, because people in the chat yesterday were like, "Yeah, Grevthar, he's amazing, better than House," and I'm like, where was this narrative in the past, right? It was like, oh, boo, Grevthar, get
speaking of guys who have a widespread opinions about them.
Yeah. By the way, Crosstail and Metsukase are back too.
My kings.
Crosstail's back in mid.
Forever my goats. I heard. Yeah. Who are they? Are they? They're both on the same team or no?
Yeah, the same team, Stella. That's the same team with Junie on it.
Junie?
Yeah. So Junie is, I think she identifies as female. But is an Ignis Cup player.
Oh, nice.
Who's playing in CD.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, and has some interesting champions. I was told week 1 she played Briar in the jungle, and yesterday she played Evelyn. So, yep. They didn't win those games, but so it was fun. It was fun watching it.
Okay, well that's good. All right, thank you for joining CD Corner. Onto the CB LOL we go. Always good to get a little check in. All right, let's talk format first before we get into kind of the nitty gritty. So this is week 1 of pick and play, right? And it was kind of the matchups that were stompy were the ones that were expected to be stompy, and the other ones a little less so. So that's good, right? The 3-6 and 4-5, right? The Sunday matchups. Yeah, I didn't watch LTA North this week, and I haven't gone back. I saw the results, but I didn't. That seemed sort of like the same thing, and people were big mad online about it. And I guess I'll offer my little pitaco here. Like, I get it. I don't really love the format either, but like I probably do think it needs to change. I understand, like, you want to build, like there's stakes on everything and all that, right? And I think that kind of it will get there eventually, but like, I don't think it's unexpected with this format, right? You literally took like a 1-8 and a 2-7.
Yep.
Right. Like, it's like, so to say, like, if you're surprised by it, read the rules. But I also don't think that that's what people were complaining. People were just like, why are we doing this to like open up the split? Right. And from that perspective, I get it.
100%. The other thing too is like, it is kind of a reward, I guess, for doing well in split 2. A little bit, so you kind of get the easy split, easy week 1. I would have rather they just pick and play it right from the beginning, like 8th seed from split 2 gets to pick their opponent. I think that would have been more fun, personally, but I understand what they did. Most of the complaints I heard of, like, people in South were complaining a little bit because Saturday was kind of boring. Like, we cast Saturday, and to be honest, like, it was very one-sided.
Like, I guess you hold on, you were on the Pain series, right?
Yep. Yeah,
that one was awful. That was absolutely awful.
But at least AC spiced it up with the Casa Curse in game 2.
but the Fluxu series, I mean, yes, it was a 2-0, but Fluxu looked better. True, like that was, that was better than I thought it would be. And like, look, we expected Fluxu to improve, so it was good that we, saw that against, arguably the best team in the league, right? If whatever you think about Pain and Furia, it's clearly 1A, 1B, right? But the Saturday matchups, again, those were supposed to be stops, and for the most part, it was pretty one-sided.
Yeah. At least our Sundays were good, though, and that's not, we're kind of dancing around.
Great.
Whereas LTA North, they were complaining because all their matches were 2-0s. So that actually affected the
were they
draw
stops? Were they stops, or were they like close 2-0s? I didn't watch it.
Mostly stompy for them. Like, some of them went a little bit back and forth in the early mid. But by the end of it, there was very little doubt as who was going to win, past, say, maybe that 25-minute mark. And that's pretty normal. But the other problem, too, is that affected the draws that we'll talk about later, I guess. But the way the draws worked out for the North, it's going to... Week 2 is probably still top stomping bottom. But for us in the South, because it wasn't 2-0s...
I was going to say, because like it feels to me like that is just a product of the leagues and how there is such a clear top 3 there's a clear top 2 in the North, and then you have, like, I don't know, it feels like it's a little more stratified than the South, where, like we said, we had a really thick B tier, right, or whatever, right?
Yes,
like 3 through 6 for us, electric madness. It's great,
glorious and fun. But okay, so I'll talk a little bit about the draw rules now, and we'll get into details later. But the draw rule was that teams with the same scoreline cannot pick each other. So if you're 0-2, you can't pick another 0-2 team. And that was where they had problems, because in the North, it was either 2-0 or 0-2. So bottom tier teams could only pick top tier teams. Whereas here in the South, because we had 2 2-0s, that means 2 2-1s, and then 2 1-2s, and 2 0-2s. They actually could pick across different spheres. And that's why we end up with Pain versus Furia headlining next week, which can't happen in the North. Like, you couldn't have the 2 best teams face off, whereas we can in the South because of the way the spread happened. So that was kind of really good for us.
So the draw, essentially, it took place where it's like the 0-2s can pick from any of the 6 teams? Or
correct. Yeah, they can pick any other team that didn't go 0-2.
Okay. Yeah. And Leviathan.
So Fluxu W7 picked first, and they picked Isurus. Then Leviathan picked Kate Stars.
Picked Isurus. I would have picked Isurus too.
Yeah, but the shocking one was Leviathan picking Kate Stars, despite the fact that Kate Stars won their game.
And they could have picked Loud or Red, who in theory, like to my kind of gut check, are shakier teams. Whereas I loved what I saw from. That's.
Okay, we're gonna have a conversation about the Kate Loud game. I actually favor Loud in that, but
I misspoke. That's why I stopped myself from talking. Yeah, no, that is surprising. Yeah, no, because like you said, Kate, they won the series, but like I came away feeling better about Loud.
Yeah, and I guess left it too.
Yeah, I guess right. Yeah, maybe they saw like, oh, if Griffin just kind of like, channels it a little bit better, if this team has a little more time to gel, belt to ass, belt to ass. Like this could be third. Like no, like to me. Okay, we'll talk about it later. But Loud looked really good.
Yeah. I agree. I think that there's a lot of promise. I actually really enjoyed the games on Sunday in general. Like even Isurus, who probably had like the rougher time of it. I still saw glimmers of excitement there. They did win the game after all. So you know what? Why don't we just hop into the games? Let's get Saturday off the way because that was the one-sided.
Yeah. We'll do the perfunctory. Just like, hey, let's talk about these games because they happened. All right. Okay. Let's talk. Okay. Just get the boring one out of the way. Pain Lev. Game 2 was a little better, but game 1 was just like Karaoke being everywhere, out jungling the shit out of Scary, getting every single neutral objective on the way to just like, okay, now we're going to face each other. We are 3,000 gold ahead. I'm going to click on you, you die. I'm going to click on you, you die. I'm going to click on you, you die. Great, let's go to the next one. It just felt like a procession for Pain. Yeah,
and it was just every lane stomped, right? Like when I was prepping the game, even in the pregame, I was kind of trying to lead into the whole idea that the only hope for Leviathan in laning phase is probably House. I was wrong. House got bodied by Roamer in lane.
It didn't go great. It didn't go great for our boy Chovy House, dude.
Yeah, and House went with the blind Azir, right? Like, I know he said on an interview before that blinding Azir is not something he really likes doing, but obviously if he's blinding it,
a lot.
He did, he tried.
Okay, maybe I'm misremembering. I remember him a lot on Azir. Maybe it wasn't always blind, but like in his heyday,
historically, yes, 100%, yes.
Okay, yeah, I don't remember if it was blind or not, but like he clearly feels comfortable enough on that champion where like if he just blinded it, like I wasn't surprised that he blinded it. It's like, oh, this is what House does. He's back, first game, comfort pick, just stick him on his ear, give the rest of the draft prio for any sort of counter pick.
Yep. Yeah, no, that's fair. That is, he did blind it a lot, right? And I think that's what kind of everybody thought. Oh, House is here. That's like, it's like
just what he does.
Tino and Zari, right? Like, hell yeah. But he got bodied by Roamer, and then every single lane lost. Like, I was not expecting CO and Toplop to match up against Titan Curry. And by the way, no shade to Toplop either. I actually thought Toplop did decent. He was not the worst performer on that team. Considering his stats from LRN, I was a little bit concerned, but he was. I don't think he's in the upper half of support so far, but it's just one series. So but yeah, so Titan Curry bodying them expected. Wiser bodied Zothli. Not unexpected to me. I know some of y'all are okay with Zothli. I didn't think Zothli was that great. And then
I thought he was fine. He like in the Scion Rumble matchup, he like he did fine, right? You went 0-0-0, weren't down that much CS, like I thought like he didn't get slammed, right? Now, again, like not that you're like necessarily gonna get slammed as Scion, so like he put in like a 6 out of 10 performance. He checked the box for me. I don't
sure. Yeah, I mean, the problem is that I felt like Wiser just had free roam and just perma pressure to help out. So Leviathan just didn't have anywhere to play for to. And then like you've got a Scion, Azir, Silver, like all of them need time to scale. And then Scary's like desperately trying to hold on to Xinjiao.
Yeah, poor kid.
Yeah, I was just like, oh man, it happened. Game 1 was just a wipe. Game 2, I like the draft a little bit better, but Scary and House do not connect, which is weird because they played with each other on Kaboom in the past when Kaboom, Scary was like putting out fires. And they looked fine together then, but this time it was like Scary. I don't know what House said to Scary before the game, but Scary looked like he didn't want to give House any ganks. He was like, no ganks for you. I will gank CO. I'll work a top lob. Zothvi, sure. House doesn't exist. Like, and you picked Viari. It's like, that is a combo, guys. Like, that's like picking freaking Lee Sin, LeBlanc and never ganking. Like, what are we doing?
So rough early reviews from Lev. Yeah, I mean, look, like you said, they play. Okay, so they've got Cade next.
By choice.
Like, by choice. Which I don't know. To be fair, that's fine. I feel like I would have picked Red because I feel like Cade just have a little more, like not based on who looked better in the week necessarily, but like Red are still like that team is still kind of figuring itself out, right? They had their high moments, they had their low moments, but like I feel like there are more holes you could poke in that team. I feel like the floor might be higher for Cade. So I would have picked Red, but here we are.
This is complete speculation by me. But the last time House and Kaze faced off was in CD playoffs.
Ooh.
And Kaboom got bodied 2-0, and Kaze slammed the ever-living crap out of House. So part of me wonders if it's like House like,
that's an ego pick.
Idea. Like we don't do Red. Like, we're not going to win that matchup. It's complete speculation. Could be completely wrong.
No, that's
just
you might be onto something there.
That's my headcanon though. For like,
I want to exist in that reality. That's a more fun reality to live in. Yeah, that's the don't pick and don't play reality. Anything else you want to say about Lev? I don't know. How do you? I mean, well, we'll talk about more on the preview, but like anything else from that series?
Lev, no. Pain trolled a little bit game 2, so Pain's not above a little bit of trolling. I hope they don't 0-3 against Furia in a best of 3 next week.
0-3 in a best of 3. I don't think they will, but that series is going to be an Astro banger. I am so excited. Is that on Saturday or Sunday?
Saturday, first game.
Saturday. Damn, I might not be able to. I might be doing something on Saturday. I got to get something sorted in my personal life. But I mean, Sunday's games could be slobber knockers as well. So we'll see.
Yep.
All right, into the next set of results. Red 2-1 ISG. Now, RMC, I had some stuff going on before I had to cast. I didn't really watch this series all that much.
Are we going to talk about Furia Fluxu?
Oh shoot! Yes. Sorry. We yes, Furia Fluxu. Fluxu looked better.
Yeah.
Great. We'll see where the rest of the mushy middle lands, but I can say confidently right now they are not the worst team in the league.
Sure.
And that is a massive step in the right direction.
Okay, so 2 things. First, Curdy. People were so hyped on Curdy after he soloed Gigo. Folks, I want to point this out. I think that's more Gigo than Curdy. Like, Curdy was good, don't get me wrong. Like, praise to Curdy. He found the angle. He had the kill instinct of the Aurora. But also, Gigo was just Gigoing. Like, the same way he randomly does. Oh, I realized I forgot to show this. But yeah, Gigo just randomly dies for no reason sometimes, guys. And that's what he did. He overstayed for 0 and got punished for it. So props to Curdy for punishing, but also, yeah, don't. I'm not quite ready to all in on the Curdy stock yet. The other thing,
no, well, and it's been like this for the last 2 years of Curdy stock, right? Just True. At the moment you think you're ready to go all in, you buy the dip and it goes up and you feel vindicated, and then right, we just need to see it. It's all it is. It's glimpses until it is consistent, right? And that's been the book on Curdy for years now.
Yeah, and the other thing was with game 2, the drop mistake. Like the
hilarious.
The drop from Furia was toxic. It's really good, but it's really toxic to try and play into like a Seraphine Senna bot lane and Ornn top. Jack Silas.
It's just like here's 2 bruisers and a tank. The 2 bruisers do different types of damage, so have fun itemizing against that. Yep. And here's all this shielding and healing over the top.
Yep, like if you don't,
it is incredibly toxic.
If you don't wipe them before 20 minutes, like they just outscale you and just refuse to die. Yeah. Turns out
the team fight is so easy.
The first pick Seraphine for Jojo was a misclick by Kiko.
Yeah, so for those that didn't see that, Figcard tweeted it. The rest of it, kind of look. The cynic in me might say like, "Oh, that's not actually," but like no one tweets like it's a weird thing to like lie about, right? Like if anything, you would lean into like, "No, actually, this was something that we had cooked up because we knew this was a 1-8 matchup. We had this kind of in the back pocket. We want to try this out maybe." But yeah, the first pick Seraphine was a mistake by Gigo. He did not mean to lock that in. He accidentally clicked on it and hit select. Everyone goes, uh-oh, and then they cooked a really nice draft out of it. And they kind of slammed Fluxu.
Yeah, it was beautiful. It was gorgeous, and Fluxu did not build healing cut for quite a long time. Actually, I think
far too long into Silas Seraphine Senna.
Yep.
What are we doing, guys?
Yep. No.
Come on. Even LS would build heal cut into that dude.
Yeah, and I think Fu, it was the last item Fu built before the game ended, so that tells the story.
And that wasn't his Akali game, was it? No, his Akali was game.
No, that was the Ari game. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. But still, it's like if you're single target assassin, right? Like your Q is the only thing that's hitting multiple people, right? Consistently, like it's not good, dude. Not good.
Yeah, unfortunate. But as you said, Fluxu, I think giving hope, like they did for most of Split too. I feel like they're improving. It's not a bad look, and up against Furia as well. Like, yes, Furia trolled a couple of things here and there, but their gameplay still looked like the best in the league. Because
it's still harder.
Yeah.
No, they looked really solid. Again, Furia, I think that just the takeaway for me is they're still on an upward trajectory.
Yep.
And that is all I could have asked, right? Because these roster swaps, this is kind of again. Not all 5 of these members on Fluxu will make it to 2026 kickoff split. Just it is a mathematical certainty that this will not be the same 5 people. So if nothing else, the solo auditions are going very well, and I meme on this Wi-Fi password of an organization, but so far it's looking pretty good, right? No moral victories, but if there are moral victories, they got 2 of them last weekend for my money, and they get, who did they pick? They got ISG. Okay, so they got Asuras. So
yep, they were first pick.
On to the next one. Isurus. What went well for Isurus in game one? Or in the game that they
in game one? Nothing. They went 1-18 in game one. They got slammed by Red. Like,
oh boy.
Yeah, not the best debut for their new solo laners, unfortunately. I think Zoan especially kind of struggled quite a bit.
Mm.
Yeah. Let's
Was that more him or more FNB?
Oh, more him.
Yeah.
I think that's in Zoan. Zoan does not quite seem ready to 1v1 against. Okay, to be fair, also FNB is really good. That we can't take that away from FNB. But Zoan got bodied all 3 games in laning phase. Which is kind of rough.
Who among us, you know?
Yeah, Liza on the other hand, I feel like Liza reminds me a bit more of Jewel and Tinones the way he was playing. Like his laning was kind of meh. Okay, game 1 was bad. Like I felt like he was not expecting how Kaze played, which is funny because Kaze is actually from the LA side of things, and so is Liza. Yeah. So, wait, no, he's from Argentina and Liza's from Mexico. So I guess LRS and LRN from different sides of it.
Sure. Yeah. So you wonder how much they actually cross paths, but your point stands.
Yeah, but it felt like he was not ready for Kaze, and the Mirio-esque style that Kaze brings to the table, the Cody-esque style. Yeah, Kaze is incredibly dominant, so Liza got body game 1. But I thought Liza adapted well for game 2 and game 3. He did not feed quite as much after that, and he had impact in team fight. So I still kind of am holding out for Liza. We'll see how things go. Then Jose Deodo was doing Jose things. There's only so much you can do, man. Like, bro, they were calling him Grandpa in the trailer. I feel like Grandpa has hit retirement age. He's supposed to be collecting pension. He's not supposed to be providing for the whole damn family and grandkids anymore. But
yeah,
here he is, continue to do that. And Snaker Ackerman.
Look, I heard that the economic conditions in Argentina are not great these days. So maybe Grandpa's having to work well past when all those benefits are supposed to kick in, and you can just ride off into the sunset. So
yeah, actually, mentioning that, it's kind of funny because the entire team except for Liza is Argentinian.
True. Yeah. No. Yeah. Liza's the only Mexican. Yeah, he's the only non-Argentinian.
Snackerman in the ball lane, like they're not young enough to be grandkids. They're like maybe the kids that aren't working, so Jose has to provide for them because I don't know what's going on with that ball lane.
They haven't moved out. Again, the economic conditions are tough, right? You can't to think that you can live the Argentinian dream, move out at 22, and and pay for a single apartment, a studio with a decent job. Just not the reality we live in.
Guess not, because Snackerman was
roommates into your 30s, man. That's how it works.
Yeah, it's rough for Isurus. They looked bad. Arguably the weakest team. Would I say that? No. They look okay. They look like Fluxu would pick them. Let's put it that way. The game 2 they won though. To be fair, they had that pop off moment, but it still feels like a lot of it sitting on Jose Deodo to just like hard carry.
Shocker. Yeah. Okay. So what went right in game 2?
Jose Deodo went right in game 2. He was omnipresent. He got his lanes rolling, and they just Red Cannons also went full Red Cannons in game 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they went full red cannabis.
I don't know. Cannabis is a depressant. They look stimulated. And yep.
Little over. Yeah. So someone put a little something in the weed bowl, and
But understandable. I mean, they got stimulated by game 1. They were 18-1. Kaze 9-0-2 was insane, bro.
Yeah.
Oh, Oriana too. It was nuts.
That's crazy. Yeah. Well, good for them. Okay, and then game 3. Any notes from there?
Game 3 was the Rebello wake up game. I feel like.
Okay.
Yeah. Because a lot of the talk was like, oh, Kaze's absolutely cracked. Oh, Doom is showing the stuff about why Red wanted to pick him, and then Rebello was kind of just like, in game 1, quietly doing his work, not really popping off. Game 2, he got run down literally by Sivir as a Caitlyn, so not much you can do. And to be fair, I think he did make quite a few positional mistakes in game 2, but in game 3, he kind of redeemed himself on the Senna. He had some really good Dawning Shadows as well to constantly back up his team across map.
Nice. That
plus Kaze with Twist of Fate just gave them so much more map control. It was just so much harder for Jose Deodo to get ganks off when there's so much like backup from around the map. But Rebello's game 3, I think, showed why Red Academy won the split and why Red Academy looked like they could take some of the LTA South teams. And a good debut showing from Rebello, all things considered, I guess.
Nice. Yeah, so this is 3/5 of that Academy roster.
Yep.
Yeah. And we did and you probably knew this, but I found this out recently because I actually bumped into I was up in Santa Monica doing stuff for Valorant, and during the Brazilian boot camp, and I ran to Fogueta there,
Okay.
the caster. So and we were small talking a little bit, and I asked her, I was like, hey, what actually happens if Red and Cade Academy are just like two academy teams win right CD? Who goes into the promotion tournament? And she confirmed that no, it is like, okay, congrats, here's a sticker, you win, but then it just goes to the next best place teams.
Okay,
they go into
confirmation. I did not know that. I was not sure about that, so thank you for confirming that.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, so that is confirmed, and it is reflected on Leaguepedia because that's what I was checking. So Leaguepedia, they are with the times. So I guess okay. Follow-up question: if you were to drop, okay, it's early and CD famously unpredictable. Right. Corinthians got off to a flying start in split one and then just
they put a Yep.
the rest of the way. So, but right now, and based on all of your CD knowledge, if you were to drop Isurus into the promo tournament right now, do they get out?
Okay, I've watched one day of CD at this point. Like, rosters have changed up massively. So,
Nerf gun to your head.
Do they get out?
Because it is just one spot, right?
Yeah, you see, if this was the last split, I'd have said no, because I think Riot Games bodies them, and we pretty much saw that.
They kind of did.
Yeah, like
kind of what happened.
Yeah, like FNB and Frosty are okay. FNB is definitely an upgrade over Zinz. Not saying Zinz is bad. FNB is just amazing, and Frosty is mechanically better than Uzint. I think Uzint and Rebello had synergy though, so that one's fairly comparable. So Riot Academy would still have won, but. I guess then the question becomes: do I think Cade can take Isurus? That gets a lot iffier, actually. Okay. I think Isurus would struggle. Like it would not be a guaranteed win for Isurus, but I do think Isurus has decent odds the way teams are playing because Cade. The problem is macro and CD is bad. Like if macro was good, I think Kaboom would just take out LTA South teams. I think they got freaking Herrit, Wiz, and Grefthar.
Yeah.
So
Herrick was Grefthar. Yeah, like say what you want about our boy, but that is a 2-time champion. He has a lot of experience, right? And it's still Herrit and Wiz. Herrit played in the LEC, right? Wiz is a CBLOL champion. He's a good, solid jungler for the level.
Yeah, I mean, Los Grandes to super clever Steiner, MG, Netsuno, Sanghyun, 4 out of 5, tier 1 experience.
MG is quickly becoming my favorite player in tier 2.
Yeah,
he is fun to watch, dude.
Their macro was good. I think they body Isurus. But that's it. I think there's like 4 or 5 teams in CD who I think would give Isurus a run for their money this split.
Great.
Based on knowledge from last split.
I think it would be the funniest scenario if Grevthar gets back to the LTA South by winning with Kaboom IDL.
Yes.
After he had retirement forced on him.
Yep.
If that's how we get Grevthar and Ranger and Herrit and Wiz and Geeks back in the LTA South. That is the funniest timeline. That is what I'm pulling for.
Yep.
Any other notes from this series?
Red, good. Red, still volatile. Red is a dangerous bet for fantasy points, except for Kaze. Kaze is absolutely correct.
He seems like he's just him.
Yep.
Man. I mean,
I want to see him play Miru so bad.
I was gonna say playing against Miru, playing against Fu, right? Kind of this next chunk of mid laners, right? Because like you said, unfortunately the ISG the ISG solo laners left a lot to be desired. So we'll see. But yeah, but it was a good kind of warm up confidence booster for Kaze to get into the league. So
100%.
Can't be too bad about that. All right, on to the last one. Loud Cade. So happy.
Yeah,
I got to cast that one. So happy that went exactly how I hoped it would in terms of like actually like game 1 was not even a stomp. It was fine. It got stompy. But then, but it wasn't for half the game. And games 2 and 3 were very back and forth. I feel like there's a lot to talk about here. Where do you want to start?
Let's start with Cade because I feel like I have more to talk about Loud.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's start with Cade a little bit because, okay, my expectations for Cade was Miru would come in and just be a straight upgrade on Kissy.
Mm-hmm.
It felt like their synergy and their macro suffered a little bit though. Like they still don't look like old Cade. Where like they had like the early game plan for Samus like kind of leading the charge. But on the other hand, Trimby looked really good. Like,
Trimby looked unbelievable.
Yeah.
Trimby was absolutely awesome. What I mean, he is Mr. Enchanter player. He was absolutely awesome. And for what?
Actually, sorry, speaking of Enchanted player, game 3, you were like, this is, I think it was you who said that. Was it Rev or you? One of you said that this is
Rev.
why, oh, Rev said it. Like, this is why Chimpy is known for his Enchanter play. I looked at his Nico and I'm like, hold up. That Nico's not an Enchanter. That's a mage. Like, Chimpy's taking names and killing people there.
He was hitting. Nico support makes me nervous because like you are just an ult bot, but like, look, if like the length of your CC does not scale with you the gold in your pocket, right? So you understand why they put him on that, but but Tribby, look, Tribby took the reins in the late game, and so I think the late game, kind of team fighting and synergy, if you want to call it that, showed up. Miru, okay, maybe he's not as connected with the team right now. I guess I wasn't expecting Cade to look like old Cade immediately, just because even if they had kept the same roster, clearly there was something that needed to be fixed, right? Yeah. But now you're injecting a new player into this, right? But Miru, again, you say what you want about like kind of the early game, meshing with the team or whatever.
He's got hands.
Miru's good, dude. Miru's good. He looked really good. He clapped Jewel.
Yep.
Like pretty much in all 3 games.
Yep.
Now, Jewel still found a way to be useful. We talked about that on the cast, right? You put him on a champion like Annie. Okay, great. Flash Bear stun. You're dead.
Yep.
Right. But they built up just organically a couple thousand gold lead just off the back of Miru, and that's exactly what you brought him in to do. So despite the ceiling that they still have to reach, right? I guess if you're being a Cade optimist, you say, look, we won the series, so we kind of dodged Loud before they hit their final form, if that's how you're going to look at it. Yes. But also, I think the ceiling for this team, I expected it to be higher, because if you have someone like Miru, who is just, as we said, kind of a souped up version of Kissy, the ceiling can be a lot higher than even we thought for last Splits Cade, whose ceiling I thought also was pretty high, kind of top 3, top 2 on a very, very good day. But this feels like, I feel like if I'm a Cade fan, I have a lot more to hope for, but then the come down could also be more rough, because the individual pieces are looking really, really good right now.
Yeah, it does feel like they're kind of in between place where it's like, they could go down, they could go up, and like you're caught between hope and despair right now with this roster. I largely agree. I think Miru performed fantastically. That game 2 with the Aurora, he dragged his team kicking and screaming to a win after Griffin was just running an absolute.
He was running roughshod. He was absolutely incredible.
Yeah, no,
Griffin for the first 2 games, like for the first game and 3 quarters.
Yep.
Holy shit.
Yep.
He was up. Like, it's exactly what the doctor ordered, right? It's exactly what you wanted when you brought in Griffin. He said, give me the ball. I'm going to go get a bucket. I'm going to go slide in the top corner. That's exactly what he did. Him and Robo, right? Good to see also Robo hasn't kind of lost a step, because, no, his game 1 was unbelievable. But, like, you there's always that thought in the back of your mind with Robo is like, oh, is this, is this where he just finally, again, just pees his pants again? But he looked really, really good. He picked up right where he left off last split.
Yep. Even in game 2, yes, like his scoreline wasn't amazing, but I thought he actually did really well for what he could into bowl in the matchup that he had. So yeah, like I think Robo is good, and that fills me with hope. I guess last word for me on Gate Stars as a whole is I think they're starting to hit mechanical peak, as in I'm not expecting them to mechanically do much better. And that I need to see their macro start cleaning up. If their macro cleans up, then I think the ceiling's high. But I almost feel like the longer CL stays in Brazil, the worse the macro is getting from him. So I don't know. Maybe he needs a vacation. I know that he didn't get his Christmas break because of some family issues or something. Maybe he just needs a break of some sort to kind of get back on form. But yeah,
could be. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I have faith. Maybe I'm still kind of like carrying over too much from from his first year and what he did, right? But you can't deny, the proof of concept is there. But so we shall see how it goes. But they're going to face some stiff competition for that kind of that third spot, right? Because that was kind of the storyline we were carrying into the beginning of the season. Is okay, we have a clear top 2. Who's coming for spot 3 and spot 4? It could be any one of kind of 4 teams, right? We kind of whittled it down to. And it is going to be very, very fascinating how that middle 4 shakes out, right? For better and for worse. And if Fluxu, this kind of wildcard team, can they kind of keep going? So Cade have Lev next, I believe.
Cade have...
I think they have Lev next.
Yes, correct. Lev, yeah.
Yeah. So here, you've kind of got to stomp them. Right, we did another just dicking from Miru, We need a little better from from a little better from Bull. I think Bull did okay.
Yeah.
But DeSamas and Tribby, right? They need to keep the ball rolling. But you've got a great kind of punching bag game against Lev, and all of a sudden, you find yourself in a really good spot, right? Being one of two, undefeated teams or whatever in the LTA South at the end of the week. So,
yep.
You need to win next week. Because if you don't, then we're back on the same bullshit treadmill with Kate Stars. And again, if you're a Kate Stars fan, it's a lot more frustrating. But it's even frustrating as a neutral because this team can be so much more than the sum of its parts.
Yeah, when you see the names and you see the promise. On the other hand, Loud, let's talk about them because I'm super excited for them in that the worst performer on that team this week was Root. And what a world we live in when Root's the worst performer on your team.
You beat me to the punch, so I guess we'll kind of ask that. Should we be worried about Root? Because last split was kind of meh, especially by his lofty standards, right? I mean, I'm not going to ask questions like, is he checked out or any of that, right? Because he's going to military service or whatever, right? Because this is kind of like Root's last ride.
Yeah.
Right. And that's kind of what this whole split has been billed as, right? Maybe Griffin is using this more as a personal launching pad and stock builder than anything. That's okay because that can clearly have still huge dividends for this org.
Yep.
But Redbird had really good game on the Rakan. Redbird has looked, really good through 1 week. It's just 1 week. Redbird has as many clangers as he does good games. So he's due for one, I guess you could say. Yep. But the top side of the map looks great. Root though, man. Like Are we worried? I'm not worried. I guess I'm worried, but I'm not pushing the panic button yet.
Fair. I, however, will ask the question of is he just haven't given up on Brazil? Because in the back of my head, I remember the last Korean. Actually, he's not the last Korean because there was Wiz and there was Winsome. The last impactful Korean on Loud before he went for military service was Croc. And in his last split, Croc bombed. It was like his worst performance ever in Brazil, and that's after playing on, was it Rensga when he first came in on, like, was he in the minors?
Rensga, minors into Loud. Yep.
Like he had some bad splits, but the last split on Loud was by far his worst. The man was just completely done, and I'm a little bit worried that Root might go down that particular road. I'd hate to see it, but yeah, he was effectively a non-entity this series, and that's a problem when you have Robo stepping up and giving us like peak prime 1v5 Robo, when you've got Griffin coming in and just popping off like
on the jungle and Bessa. Oh my goodness.
By the way, those of y'all who don't know, he has a couple of pocket picks, and Bessa Volibear is another.
The Volibear, I've seen some. I saw there was a clip that went. Did you see the clip of him from Greftar's solo queue stream?
No, I didn't actually.
Okay, I'm going to send you this even mid podcast because this is worth kind of your reaction to it, and it's just it's absolutely incredible stuff. But the Volibear, he has.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
He's always had it, right? So it's one of his pocket picks. So just be aware. And then on top of that, like carry champions, like the Wukong, like Kindred, stuff like that. He can absolutely pop off on those. So for me, it's like I want to see Griffin more on those champions. Don't put him on Sejuani. Like that's only if everybody else is popping off and you absolutely need utility from the jungle. Like he can play it. It's just not his carry champions. When those two are popping off, when Redbird's playing well, like this Lao team should be really, really high up. And so I'm a bit concerned if Root's not pulling his weight. Even Jewel, for all that he was up against Mirio of all people, and the laning phase was rough from Jewel, I thought Jewel actually didn't do badly by any means. Like especially on the Oriana, the Annie, these more like sort of very simple.
He played some very self-aware games of League of Legends, but I'm not going to sit here and say he wasn't. But I don't know. Maybe his late game outweighs the disaster that the early games was, because like you still have to own that you had some onus in the fact that you got shafted in the first 20 minutes of like a couple games. It wasn't just like a one-off where you got a bad matchup, you got
lost every single
time. Like, that happened.
Yep.
Yeah, that happened like pretty consistently, right? So like, but to your point, it's often it is not. You can't let adversity define you. How you react to the adversity should weigh more. So I will give Jewel immense credit for that, because especially again, first split, right? This is your first time in tier 1, right? You came from TCL. This is like clearly the weak link on this team, depending on what you think about Redbird, I guess, or like the most unknown.
Yes.
But yeah, no. But so I give him immense credit because he could have buckled again and again and again. He did the exact opposite.
Yep, and he came back, and to me that. I'm still scarred from the Lao dynasty, so in my head, like that's still the Lao identity in my head, where it's like, okay, we are just going to play for 30 minutes, and then Jewel has impact at 30 minutes. So Yeah, I think if Root buckles up, this Lao team is a threat. If Root doesn't buckle up and Jewel doesn't fix his laning phase, then they're still going to be a middle of the pack team. But I'm very, very excited for them. And that's why that match in particular was so hype for me, because it's like the two teams with really high ceilings, which could be contenders against Furia and Pain, and we get to glimpse them. I just wish this came later, after both teams had time to kind of integrate and scale up, because I believe Macro is fixable.
You saw a lot of the warts from both sides.
Yep.
Right. Which is part of what made it entertaining. But also, to your point, it's like, damn, if we saw both these teams at their final form, okay, little thought exercise. One, who's got the higher ceiling?
Sure.
Loud or Cade, if you had to say right now.
Loud. Okay,
I think I agree with you, because it feels like the individual pieces are just they can shine brighter.
Yep.
But then, what is their ceiling? Not compared to Furia and Pain's ceiling, compared to their, like, their 7.5, 8 out of 10, right? Their normal, like, on a good day performance. Is Loud's ceiling enough to crash that top two? Assuming things don't go, I say, like, Pain and Furia top, 8 out of 10, because I'm saying, like, okay, maybe Loud is good enough to, Loud is obviously good enough to crash the top two if Loud get to a 10 and Furia/Pain have a bad day, right? Or just, like, bomb the rest of the season.
So are we calling it 10 to 10 or like 8.5 to 8.5?
8.5 from Furia Pain to 10 from Loud. I'm saying if Furia and Pain continue as expected.
Okay.
Right? Maybe not like fire on, because I think if Furia and Pain fire on every single cylinder, they're better than Loud firing on every single cylinder, to me. And maybe you disagree with that.
Okay. Okay. I think Loud at a 10 would beat Pain at an 8.5. Okay. Literally because we've actually seen Robo do it. Like, Robo specifically can be a nightmare at a 10 for any team. And his Jax, like, lived rent-free in Pain's head for an entire year after he pulled the 1v5. So because of that, Loud at a 10, they take Pain. Unfortunately, I love Pain very much. Furia at an 8.5 is interesting, because I think Furia has the highest ceiling of all teams right now in the LTA South. I just think they're horrifically inconsistent. I think Loud is more consistent than Furia, actually, or was the last split. This year in particular, not so, but traditionally, yeah. So Loud at a 10. I think Loud at a 10 beats any team except Furia at a 10.
But I think it's more or less where I'm at. I hadn't really, again, I kind of thought of this on the fly, so I didn't really develop an answer. But I think
that's gut feeling from me too, right? Like,
yeah. Because I think if Loud hit their ceiling, we have an amazing top three. But I think, like, if that was the top three we sent to regional championship, which right now, if you had to make me pick, okay, yeah, I think those are going to be the three teams. Again, that's not to say, like, that's what I think will happen necessarily, because we got a whole split to play out. But right now they look like the three best teams, and that would be an amazing top three to send to Houston.
It would. I would also get a lot of stress in the playoffs, but it'd be worth it watching.
Yeah.
Pain have to struggle with that. Okay, I've got the clip. Should I run it? The sound will leak into the recording. Do you want me to mute the?
You can mute it. Are you able to show the actual clip physically? I can cut this out if you want to, because I think this is worth, like, for the viewers. I can cut the behind the scenes capture. Because also, just, it's funny to watch Grev's reaction, just, like, in kind of stunned silence as his character just gets absolutely ripped in half by Griffin's volley bear.
Okay, sorry, I just need to add the window capture, and then...
You're good. You're good. I made you do this. You have nothing to apologize for. Volley bear is a ridiculous character.
Why? It just does not want to show it. What the... Sorry, like, I tried to do window capture, and then it vanishes when I... No, force SDR doesn't work. Match title, automatic capture method. Let's try bit. Nope. Okay, what if I do a browser source? Actually, Farfar, can you do me a favor and do it as a screen share through video?
I do what?
Can you send it? Can you do like a screen share on video?
Oh, okay.
Like maybe like a different browser tab altogether. Because yeah, where you can do it through the room, I think.
How's that?
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. Then I can use this as a browser source, I think. Yeah. OBS is being very
OBS
unhelpful today. Okay, so and then I need to pull sound from. Okay, wait, am I getting sound? I am not getting sound. Wait, it's not moving. That's why. I can try playing it and see if I'm getting sound. Yeah, I'm getting sound. Okay.
All right. Excuse me.
Oh, good.
Okay,
so he's on Aurora. Okay, where's Griffin?
It is a quick little 20-second, but a lot goes on in these 20 seconds.
Okay.
Let me know when we're ready to go.
Okay, ready.
All right, so the build, by the way, from the Volley Bear is Death's Dance, Cosmic Drive, Iceborne Gauntlet, Spirit Visage, Flicker Blade.
Okay.
Because on Volley Bear, you can build literally anything you want.
Yep.
And he will still be good. Because he's a silly, silly champion. All right, let's watch.
Yep. Checks out.
Yeah.
Oh, he's not done. Oh, shot. How many shots did he tank? That's oh my goodness. That just looks so done with it.
He's just like, what just happened? So that's on Griffin's Twitter, and it's only like 6 tweets down. So if you wanted to find that for yourself and have a good time with that, thank you, RMC, for indulging me.
Okay.
All I have to say, yeah, Griffin's got a couple pocket picks that he likes to bust out, man. And yeah, it is, if nothing else, I mean, one, it's just exciting, right? We knew that, I mean, Griffin, no matter what, was going to put butts in seats. Not that the LTA South has a problem putting butts in seats, but if they did, Griffin would have fixed that problem. And it just gives you so much more flexibility in draft, dude. Like the fact that he can throw out just like, again, like him and Robo, it's just like, who's going to play it?
Yeah.
You got no idea.
Yeah. I mean, you could pick an Anivia, and I believe that Griffin would try in the jungle, right? And
yeah.
Wait, no, Anivia was a FNB thing, wasn't it? Not Robo, but yeah.
But still, maybe. I don't know. Rod of Ages now gives more mana. Maybe that's the problem is solved.
Yeah, no, I am very hyped for this Loud roster, and like I said, I'm glad we got to see a Loud K-Stars matchup, because there is a world in which they would just not meet up this entire split. I would have liked to see it later, but hey, earlier is better than not at all. So yeah.
And if we're speaking of complaints with the format, that's one I have, that you don't guaranteed get to have every team against every team.
Sure.
I think that's a miss, because I think that maybe it's just, this is what I've known as long as I've been watching League, is that you play every single team, every single split at least once. Yeah. So you get to see how, again, whether the data is transferable or not, right? And that's its own fun thought exercise. Oh, they met in week 1 when this team was poo-poo and this team had a different mid laner, or I don't know, right? But still, the fact that it's a possibility that we wouldn't have gotten to see this, that's a shame.
That's why I like double round robin.
But, like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. There's like, anyway. Any final notes on this one before we move on?
Nope, great fun.
All right, good stuff. And I closed down the runner show to DM you that. So here we go. Fantasy check-in. Yeah. All right. So I what's the technical term? Forgot. So even though Trajan is sick on vacation, I'm neither of those things. And he remembered, but he also did get 10th.
I also want to remind everybody, 4-4 made the league.
I did. I made the team. I made the league. I was doing something else, and I was like, all right, let me just make the league real quick because like I should just get this done, and then if anything goes wrong, then I can fix it. And then I was like, cool, I'll set it like later. Oops, my bad. But great job, RMC, 3rd place.
Yeah,
well done. And also hilarious that Lunar Day and Trajan are next to each other, and they're separated by less than a point. But Lunar Day still can say that the number next to her name is a single digit, whereas Trajan's a double digit.
No, why are you giving her ammunition for? I feel bad for Trajan. Fair enough. I think.
Did he pick House?
Oh, good question. Let me actually take a look. Trajan did not pick House. He actually picked Kaze.
He picked Kaze base.
Yeah. Oh, he got played out by Griffin. That's what happened. Because the Sejuani game from Griffin messed up his points really badly.
His Sejuani game from Griffin gave him a grand total of 0.15 points.
Yep. That is super rough.
Because the rest of his drafts was kind of based.
Yeah. Yeah, it was.
Weiser, Griffin, Kaze, Rebello, Trimby? It's a shame that's a 10th place draft, because that's not a 10th place draft.
It isn't. And speaking, of places, Meowing for Bot from Rambling FC, great use of some of the new rules. So one of the new rules is that the more different teams you have in your draft, you get a modifier. So if you've got like 2 different teams total, it's +5, 3 is +10, 4 is +15, 5 is +20. So Rambling FC drafted 5 different players from 5 different teams. He had Gakkos in the top lane.
Gakkos?
Yep. Yeah, I mean, it's up against this guys at the time who I don't know if Rambling knew that it was going to be Photon the top lane at that point or not.
Wow.
Yeah, and
okay,
I mean,
you get the average. It's not additive, so I guess that's not crazy.
Yeah, Gakkos only played the 1 game. It was Blabber in the jungle from C9, Kaze from Red mid, B-Boy from Shopify.
B-Boy dropped a 60 bomb.
Yeah, he did. On the well, to be fair, that was also the 60 bomb is with the champion bonus modifier.
Okay.
Because that's a 70% modifier, which is huge. Yeah, but I mean, hey, props to Rambling FC for getting that on the big game where he was like 40 plus points. And then Redbird on Loud. So it's 5 different teams as well. He really maxed out the bonuses. Really, really well played from Rambling FC.
Wow. Yeah, played a blinder, actually. Yeah. And that's like a near perfect week. Even like I guess I don't know how the financials shook out. Maybe Gakkos was the great budget top laner you could have to slot in there. Because like if you're gonna take a flyer on anybody, take it on the FlyQuest son. Yeah, absolutely. Who's just like has the best team in the league around him. Clearly, yeah. Like it's gonna have the game handed to him. Just all right, I'm gonna pick Ambessa and just try to R somebody later in the game. And I didn't watch the game, but that seemed how did you do? 3rd place.
Yeah, I ran out of budget. So I did hear that Thanatos was going to run up into Yayo because Yayo had to sub in for Zamudo, who's having visa issues. So Thanos ate up the bulk of my budget. And then everything after that was just kind of like trying to fill the budget. I thought Shopify was a great bet. And B-Boy, Seos, my Brazilian goats in the north, paid out. So that was fine. That was okay. Palafox was fine. He was like the cheapest you could get, which I thought was criminal, by the way. I don't think Palafox is the worst mid laner. So
yeah, I think there's a good buy low spot on Palafox there.
Yeah, hell yeah. Like I think Palafox is like at least a mid tier mid laner. So he got robbed, and then Yuji was my big gamble on this, but he paid out. Yeah, he did well. So
all right, well, good. Yeah. I mean, I've got nothing. I threw up a freaking goose egg, but. Any takeaways from your learnings from week 1 with new rules or any of that?
Yeah, the 5-team rule I think is actually huge.
It's more fun.
Yeah, the modifier is actually cracked. So I'm definitely going to try and go for that. Also, I don't think I predicted a single champion right from all my picks. So I need to.
And you still got 140.
Yeah, it should have been a lot more if I managed to actually hit the modifier. Because 70%. Week 1, I forgot they reset the modifier. So every champion was 70%.
Wait, explain.
So basically, if a player has played that champion already, the modifier goes down. Because they played it, they're more likely to play it. Okay. Yeah, so you're playing the odds. But because it was the first week, everything was at 70%, which means that like any pick you picked had the highest modifier on it, which is 70.
So there's an argument that you had the best, if not the second best week if you take out the champion guessing game, because even Dota 2 in second place did better than you by a hair, but only because they guessed Fudge Rumble.
I mean, Liz also got Masu. So Masu, I think, dropped the. Was Masu the highest point scorer? No, I think Loki was, but yeah, Masu was definitely up there. So
Masu got she got Masu Varus.
But she got Masu Varus. Yeah, she got the modifier. Okay, wait then.
I'm
actually not sure.
Like,
maybe perhaps
without those champion selections, you're up in second, and without Rambling getting the B-boy Ezreal.
By the way, a little bit disappointed, Liz. I don't see any LOA players on that list. At least she picked Seos at least.
Hold on, is Liz?
Yeah, Liz Dota 2 is one of Liz's accounts.
Okay, so she's multi-boxing.
She did last split. I don't know. Did she do two in this one?
Or is she doing like one just LTA South? I think that's what.
Yeah, I think that's that's the gamer mates. Yeah. She does two teams. Yeah. Gamer mates is usually her LOA team. Okay, so she did go full LOA on that one.
Nice. And ended up rock bottom, but true to her roots, picked a lot of the Lev and Isurus. It was all Isurus plus Miru, who still is kind of LOA.
He came from IE, so
exactly for at least a couple weeks he could still carry that. All right. Anything else for fantasy?
Buy low, sell high. Build econ early. That's my strategy for now.
Well, it's a good place to start from. In third place, RMC. Well done. All right. Week 2. Let's do it.
Okay. Where is my week 2? There we go.
Wait. We've got Fury of Pain. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Fury of Pain.
I love the South that we got that matchup in week 2. This is like the best possible schedule we could get.
Oh, absolutely. No, it 100% is. Fluxu Isurus, it's my favorite thing to say. We're going to learn a lot about both of these teams.
True.
We're going to learn a lot about Fluxu and Isurus because they Fluxu on the upper trajectory, Isurus that kind of on the downward trajectory, and they meet in maybe 6th place. That's kind of where they're touching each other right now. Lev Cade, that could be a disaster.
Yeah,
actually, but if Cade underperformed, that's also a disaster because Lev looked poo-poo, and Loud versus Red could be fun.
Yeah, I just the screams of anguish on social media if Cade loses to Lev.
Oh my goodness, they're gonna be calling for CL's head again.
Yep.
No, if they lose to Lev, dude, it's gonna turn. They're gonna make January 6th look like a picnic, dude. There's going to be hell to pay. Yeah, I mean, Fury of Pain, obviously the headliner, but again, Cade have a must-win game in front of them.
Yeah,
and Red on an upper trajectory, right? This is gonna be like Doom. Have fun into Griffin.
Yeah, actually, genuinely though, spoiler, my match to watch for this week is actually not Fury of Pain. It is Loud Red. I think Fury of Pain, we've seen that before. I mean, it will be the highest quality match, most likely.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like the stakes are too low for me to care right now.
Yeah, like both these teams are going to end up in the top 3, barring disaster. So,
and I guess this is actually not true because from what I understand of the format, first seed actually matters a lot because first seed will have opponent selection throughout pretty much the entire elimination phase. So this actually probably is a key match as to who gets to pick their opponents. But like you said, they're going to be top 3. I'm not worried about who they actually end up playing in eliminations. If they get eliminated, that's going to be mind blowing. So to me, Red Loud's a lot more interesting when you've got all these new names coming in for both these sides, and still a lot of question marks to come through. And we'll get into the breakdown later, but that's my kind of match to watch.
Mm-hmm. No, I kind of think so too, as far as like the not even stakes necessarily, because I think you could argue that the stakes for Cade are larger, but like Lev are playing with house money and the fact that they literally have nothing to lose. They are rock bottom right now, I think, in everyone's estimations. No, but Loud Red could be really, really fun. I think we could see some gaming, some real League of Legends being played. But I think there's something to be interested about in all 4 of these matchups, and especially early in the season, right? With a we'll say flawed format. This is a really good, kind of like you said right at the top. The South, for reasons that are kind of out of anyone's control, really, like we got kind of the long end of the stick, if you will, in terms of matchups. So this is going to be this is going to be a lot of fun. Look, even if you're an LTA North, normie, spend your mornings with us. These games are going to be really fun. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, like you said, for Riot Pain, this should be the projected finals. That should be just fun. Both these teams, like you said, I think you actually made a very good point that both teams are going to care, especially Pain, because they're going to feel like, oh no, we were the best team last split. We just didn't show up on the day.
Yep.
All right, here's a chance to prove it. Right, with nothing on the line really. Go ahead and make something happen.
Okay, predictions? Fury of Pain?
I'll say Pain 2-1 because I don't know. I think Pain will come with something to prove. Furia, not they're going to take their foot off the gas, but I think maybe they are. I think Pain will come with a little bit more, and I still. Maybe again, I don't really know why I think this, but I think that if both of these teams play at a 10 out of 10, I think the individual talent on Pain can carry them a little better over the top. And at the most important late game position, I take Titan over IU.
Okay, that's fair.
Titan's got I trust Titan more than IU to take a game by the scruff of the neck and just shove it into a winning position.
That's fair. I think Gigo would body Wiser in that 10 out of 10 situation, but
I don't think body.
Oh, I think body.
I think beat. I don't think body. Gigo has a higher ceiling than Wiser, but I don't think it would be crazy. Maybe I'm wrong. But,
I'm just really high on Gigot when he's in Gigot form. Any other time, I'm taking Wiser though. Like I have said time and time again, I pick Wiser.
He's the best player in the LTA South.
Yep. Truly even above the likes of like Tati and Carioca, and even arguably Titan for individual play. I think Titan brings a lot more to the table than just individual play, but his individual play is also really good. My trauma is saying Furia 3-0, but I'm going to say Pain 2-1. Likewise with you. I think it will be a close series. I hope it's
it should be fun. Yeah.
Unless one of the teams underperforms, which did happen in the grand finals from Pain, it should be competitive. So yeah, I'm expecting a close one. Okay, Fluxu Isurus. I mean, Fluxu, it makes sense they picked Isurus Gaming. They couldn't pick Leviathan, so it had to be Isurus was like the next best choice. How do we think this one's gonna roll?
Unfortunately, I don't know, man. What I think will happen is a Fluxu 2-1. But for the sake of having LLA be like competitive and relevant, because I think that is just good for the league, I want Isurus to win. I want Isurus to be like a healthy, like I want, because Lev looked hopeless right now. But Isurus, there's something to grasp onto, and that something is the sweet, beautiful face of Jose Deodo, where you grab him by both cheeks, shake him, and say, "Please do not let me down." And I don't want this. I don't want the like. Look, we've all got all these issues. We're living in this post-merger timeline where we're going to drop the LTA or the LLA into both of these leagues, but we're only going to get the best of them, and the best of them can compete with. But right now, it doesn't look like it, and that makes me sad. I want Isurus to be a top 4 team. I don't think that will happen because I think the top 4 is kind of tough to break into.
Did split one?
They did, and so split one feels a long way away. That feels like it was 2 years ago.
Yep.
That split one.
2 years ago in a fever dream.
Yeah, but there is a lot to like if Fluxu do, look, I'm not rooting against Fluxu because I like a lot of the players on the team. I like the direction that this thing is going. I think they will have just enough, and I think they'll be playing less scared than Isurus. I think Isurus, like you said, the solo laners probably left a lot to be desired.
Yep.
I'll say Fluxu 2-1.
Wow, that is interesting. Okay, so I actually had the opposite thought. I thought I want to support Fluxu, but I think Isurus at this very moment is better for the similar reasons with Jose Deodo. I think just being able to run over Fluxu, and yeah, Sneaker Ackerman against Marvin Prods I think will be fine, and then they'll hit the carry stage, like the team fight stage where Sneaker's a lot more comfortable at. Yeah, so I actually thought Isurus, like my head was favoring Isurus. My heart wants Fluxu to win, but
yeah, and maybe there's a product of me having not watched that first series against Red, so I didn't see them kind of at their, doing what they do. But like,
yeah,
I don't know, man. If the solo lanes left as much to be desired as you say they did,
yeah,
And, yes, look, he's going to have a better, someone's going to have a better time of things against Purdy, not FNB. I think that is about as big a spread one week to another as you could get. So,
that's right.
Maybe I'm not taking that enough into account, but I could see this going. I think this will be a 2-1 either way. I'd be surprised if it's a 2-0 either way.
Oh, that's true. I was thinking 2-1 either way too. I am gonna go with my heart because I really want to see Fluxy W7M win. For all the same reasons you want Isras to win, I want Fluxy W7M to win because these rookies, like this team, I want Marvin to get some recognition, and Yampy. Yampy needs some help, man. this is hopefully like recovering therapy after almost getting relegated out of CD, out of tier 2.
Out of the second tier, dude.
Yeah, I'm gonna call for a Fluxy W7M 2-1. But
right.
Yeah, that's more of a heart call than a hit call.
Fair enough. Lev Cade. I'll say Cade 2-0 because I do think that is the most likely scenario. But God help us all if Cade lose to Leviathan, dude.
A large part of me wants Lev to win so badly.
For the chaos factor and for the entertainment factor, it would be so funny. It would be so funny.
The problem is I just think lane by lane, Leviathan is being outmatched in every single role. The only one that's even close is maybe top lane, and I'm going to be honest, I didn't rank Zothly high enough to think that he's going to warrant a threat to Bull. Like, just give Bull a carry. This Samus has always been better than Scary all throughout, their rookie years, their tier 2 years. Miryu, like what Kaze did to House, Miryu can do the same. Like, that's why I want to see Miryu versus Kaze, because... it wasn't Kaze who did that. It was Romer who did that to House. Holy crap. And I think Miryu and Kaze are both better laners than Romer, so... good luck, House. And Morteus Trimby have been absolute beasts. We talked about Trimby actually in their matchup, but I thought Morteus also had epic games. Game 2 and 3 didn't die at all.
Two deathless games, right? And but again, it was just some very self-aware gaming, right? It was, I just need to sit back, not die, and right-click kids. I don't need to play hero ball. I'm playing Jhin, for crying out loud, right? Like you've got, I'm just Mr. Helpful. Hit one deadly flourish. The threat of the curtain call, right? Whether that's baiting people into bad positions or having someone jump onto me, I cancel and just cleanse flash out, right? He was having an immense impact. Really, really good game by Morteus. He had it easy, relatively speaking, right? He didn't have to do too much, but what he did do, he did perfectly.
Yep.
So, that bottom lane picked up right where it left off, man.
So I think it's going to be a K2-0. And I think Lev, have fun and pick either Fluxy W7 and Mistress for week 3.
Yeah, and enjoy your spot in 2026 Split 1. Because you won't have to play for it.
True.
Loud Red.
Ooh, this is a fun one.
This is a fun one. This has big, like, Loud Cade from last week energy, but, like, Red even more chaotic and more kind of exciting, and just the range of outcomes, I think, is a lot bigger for Red, for better or for worse. But I'm going to say Loud 2-1, because I think they are the better team.
Okay.
And I think Griffin will have gotten his, first day jitters out of him. And also, I think the gap in the jungle could prove problematic for Red Canids. I like, Doom apparently looked better this time around, right? But Griffin could just turn Doom into a traffic cone.
Yeah, he could.
This could get out of control really, really quick.
But everything Griffin can do to Doom, I feel like Kaze can do to Jewel.
This is also true.
Like the mid jungle matchup is like super, super interesting to me because.
And then we get Robo FNB, Grandpa versus Grandpa.
FNB has always held his own against Robo. I'm less worried about that one. Actually, I think FNB has had better times against Robo than Weiser has. So that matchup's fine. And then bot side, Root is kind of Grandpa as a Rebello here, but Root, I mean, he was kind of sunsetting a little bit.
Aired our concern.
Yep. Rebello's popping off. I think Frosty's better than Ripper right now mechanically. So. Yeah, this matchup is really close. You know what? Here's what I'll do. For you call for a 2-1 Loud, I'm going to call for a 2-1 Red just so we get a spread.
But I could see that. Yeah, I hope we don't get a 2-0. But that being said, a 2-0 either way would send that fan base into an absolute frenzy and give them delusions of grandeur that they have no reason to happen, which is its own type of fun.
Yeah. I don't get to make fun of them because as a Pain's actually.
Yeah. Delusions of grandeur. Couldn't be
that is Chadisao, right?
Exactly. how it's always been, man. All right, mailbag time. Let's get out of here.
Okay, mailbag time. Let's take a look. All our questions this week are from Lunar Day. And we've got some interesting questions. So the first one is, with Faker signing a contract to play till 2029, name her a current LTA South player on their current roster you would like to see their org sign until 2029. And she did mention on my stream yesterday as well that there is an answer she thinks we're all going to pick. So hopefully we don't pick that answer. Yes. I already told her that wasn't my pick.
Right. But you know what is her?
I do. So I'll be able to verify whether or not you picked it. So
okay, because I have
currently.
I have 2.5 answers.
Okay.
My half answer is Jose Deodo, in that I want to see him sign somewhere until 2029, but on like an actual team.
Yes, but the question is
like,
on the current roster.
I understand, yes, but I wanted to get Jose Deodo in there because the longer Jose Deodo is in the league, the more that LATAM has their standard bearer, I think, for years and years and years to come. He has face of the league energy, right? He was the first one. He got a tier 1, a major region spot before a Brazilian player did.
Yep.
Right? So
we only got sales this year.
Category. Exactly. Jose Deodo deserves to and needs to be in the league for a long, long time.
Sure.
Actually, I've got 3 answers now.
Oh, okay. Okay. So Jose Deodo for the league, that's one. And the other 2 are?
No. I have 3.5 now. My half is Jose Deodo.
Okay.
So I'm going to kind of talk this through as I go, because I didn't see this question beforehand. So I'm staring at my rosters on my other monitor here. I mean, if we're going to take kind of, this is the least exciting and like probably my dumbest, not dumbest, but my least favorite answer. And I don't think this is what Lunar Days is, but if it is, I'd be a little surprised. If we're taking kind of the Faker page, right?
Okay.
I think like Titan on Pain until 2029.
Okay. Yeah.
Just like, okay, you're one of the older players, but you're still playing at the at the peak of your powers, or pretty close, right? And you need a guy to be, again, the face of the franchise. Titan and Pain, personality, energy, right? Vibe wise, I think is a match made in heaven, right? You play some of the most high octane League of Legends in the most high octane position on the most high octane team in the most high octane region.
Yep.
Pen to paper.
It's a match made in heaven. Yep.
Exactly. So from that, so that's kind of my more fakery answer.
Yep.
What I want, I think would be funny. This is not what Lunar Day's answer, I don't think, is.
Okay.
But I would say Fu.
You want a jail Fu?
No, not I want a jail Fu. I want Fluxu W7M. I want the Fluxu. I want the money to actually come in. I want all that Rainbow Six money that W7M has to get pumped right into League of Legends and put an actual roster around Fu. Because this man has been ELO held too long. A lot of other things have to go right. But I think the answer that Lunar Day is saying, and that I think might be the answer that we're going to pick, is Tatu.
No, it's not. So you successfully dodged it. Yeah.
Okay. But I'll finish my little point here about it. Doesn't really need much explaining. Furia is a stalwart Brazilian org. They are, you could argue, the Brazilian org in terms of just like what do most people know. Counter-Strike is a massive, massive esport, right? And Furia, when you think Brazil, you think Furia. And if they want to plant their flag in League of Legends, have a dude that is, again, going to be their standard bearer, Tatu, right? Like, you want to talk about someone who, like, if I'm thinking about this in terms of like, if I'm a general manager, I'm handing like Tatu that contract right now before he hits the peak of his powers. I'm going to sign him to a long-term deal on what he's worth right now. Now, if I'm Tatu's agent, I'm telling him, don't you dare sign that contract. But if I'm Furia's GM, I'm telling Tatu, here's a 5-year contract.
Yep.
Sign it.
Yep.
And then eventually when he hits even higher heights, he will be contract jailed, which is messed up. But if I'm thinking like a GM, that's how you should think.
I mean, to be fair, Faker has shares in T1, so it's not really like contract jailed. He can't sign.
But I'm not giving Furia. I'm not giving Tatu shares.
No, that's not yet. Maybe 4 or 5 years down the road, once he's done what Faker's done. Okay.
Once Tatu is 2025 LTA champion in Houston, then
we talk.
Then maybe.
Fair enough. Before I tell you what the landmine was, for me, I had 2 which immediately came to mind. The big one was Tatu for Furia, because I think he already has become the face of Furia at this point.
Yep.
And he's just such a vibrant personality. We want to see more of him. And I do think Furia built very well for Tatu as well. So I feel like that's a great match. The other one for me was also Titan for Pain. But that's a more selfish sort of thing, because I'm a Pain fan. I'd love to see Titan stay on that roster. And then just kind of rebuild around Titan, like they just replace pieces as needed, right? I think they're fine as is.
Yeah, you've got a North Star, right? I was listening to an NBA podcast last night, and they talk about like, okay, if you're like my Detroit Pistons were terrible until last year, but even while they were terrible in the last few years, in 2021 they drafted a guy named Cade Cunningham, first overall. They got the first overall pick in the draft. They made the obvious pick that a well-trained monkey could have made, but you have a North Star to build around, right? If you don't have a North Star to build around, then your franchise is rudderless. You are directionless, right? If you have one person that you know who they're going to be, then for the next few years, okay, like it's just like it's not even that it's going to work. It just makes your decision matrix so much smaller.
Sure. Yeah, much more manageable and streamlined, and you don't get distracted as much, for sure.
Yep.
The landmine choice, and I think this kind of reflects our basis a little bit. You and I are much more like CBLOL centric, Brazilian centric to be exact. LTA South, you did think of Jose Deodo for the LTA South as well. But I think if you're just from the LTA as a whole and you're thinking more from the north, it was Griffin for Loud that she was thinking of.
I mean, that would be hot. That'd be hot. That'd be like extremely sick. I don't know. Maybe it's because I thought about that. Yeah. But like for me, Griffin's gone after the split.
Yeah.
That's just what I think will happen. And look, I'm no shade to anybody involved, right? I think maybe Loud and Griffin both know that, right? I guess actually, hold on. Look at the GCD. GCD. That's global contract. That's global cooldown. Sorry, I played a lot.
There's no more cooldown.
Wait, no, it is GCD.
So yeah, it is GCD. That's right,
One that it is, but it still is GCD. Okay, it's global contract database. Okay. When is his contract until?
End of year. He's only got till end of year. Everybody right now on the Loud contract is just till end of year.
Okay, good. Smart decision making by Loud. Great, you did the thing you were supposed to. Which is not put yourself in contract.
I mean, but I fully agree. I think for Griffin, this is just kind of stopover. I guess I have not seen any North American player come down to the South and stay, and that's why like it didn't even pop into my head immediately.
No, exactly. Yeah.
It'd be cool.
It'd be an incredible outcome, right? And who better than to be like the face of the merger, even.
Sure. Yeah,
right. Like
actually,
if I'm Mark Z and Kako, right, and then like the people in charge, if Griffin signs a long-term deal with Loud after this split and Loud have some success, right? Let's say they take that second spot from Cloud9, they go to Worlds, they have a respectable showing.
Yeah.
And Griffin re-signs with Loud. If I'm Mark Z, I wouldn't do this because I'm a professional, but it's a big fat I told you so, right? Yep. This is exactly what you would want, right? And with Griffin of all people, on Loud of all orgs, right?
Yep, it's perfect.
Brash, like, fuck you, I'm sick, I'm hot, and I have social media followers, and I have muscles, and, like, I have more money than you, I have Vinny Jr. as an ambassador, we're gonna go party in the Azores, like, yeah, that's exactly what you want.
100%. Yep. No, I fully agree with that. It would be wonderful. And I guess that what Lunar is saying is like you would like to see. So it's kind of a wish fulfillment thing.
I would like, yeah, sure. No, that's fair.
Yeah. Okay. That's question one. Now,
good answer.
Question two. Is it just Lunar or is it sad this Loud roster didn't get a full year to grow?
Yes.
Feels like they have all the talent.
I was saying that, dude. I was saying that last week on the podcast. I was saying that all through the broadcast. Like, this Loud roster could be so sick. If this was beginning of this year, even like end of 2024. Oh my god. No, it's a shame, right? Because then you think, okay, if Root didn't have to go to Korea, right? Maybe you swap out Redbird in terms of like the long-term planning here. Sorry.
Say it with your chest, for Redbird is not the best support. That's a fact, and I don't think Redbird would dispute that right now.
Fair. He's self-aware enough to know that. I'm sorry, Igor. But like, yeah, Robo's still doing the damn thing, right? Jewel, right? See if he can hit his ceiling, right? He's got a Korean buddy with Root. Right, Redbird, okay, I've said my piece. And then Griffin, he's got, the sky's the limit for this kid.
Yeah. To be fair, I don't think this roster could win this year. Even if you gave them from Squad until now, I don't think so.
They could.
I think up against
I would give it a 10%. I would give it a 10% chance.
Sure. Okay, fine. Possible, highly improbable. Yeah, that's fair. But I do think if they change out the bot lane, the jury's still on Jewel. If Jewel can level up, maybe
we've had 3 games of Jewel.
Yeah, but I do think Redbird
chemicals and nicotine have not settled into our lungs yet.
Yeah, as it stands right now, though, I am a little bit sussed on this bot lane. I think the bot lane could use some upgrades, like you said. Even Root, the way he's been playing this year, could potentially use a bit of an upgrade.
It's unfortunate, yeah.
Yeah,
and I'm just like Root. Like I have we got a bit of a score to settle because he made me look bad, right? When we were going into the cross conference and split one.
Yeah,
right? I think you kind of did the same thing. Was like, look, if nothing else, Root is Mr. Consistency. Root is the guy you can count on to put in a great
I was talking up Titan Curry, so I got burned a little bit less. Titan Curry were fine. They did their job. Didn't get out-choked a little bit and chose to retire after. So, like, yeah. No, I think we agree with that, Lunar. I think, yeah, we all kind of 100%. Share the same sentiment. And
it's a bummer.
I'm hoping that Griffin stays on for next year as well. I'm hoping he has a good split and chooses to stay on. But we'll see.
But it's so hard because it's like you said, like everyone's contract ends. So even if let's say Loud win the damn thing, right? Let's say the nuclear scenario. Loud are LTA champions, right? Even if things go perfectly, the roster build for next year gets so complicated.
That's true, 100%.
That said, all you guys are going to demand a lot of money, and rightfully so. Loud is already piecing away money.
There's more than money, though. Money isn't everything. I'm just saying, Griffin lost week 1, and he's promised celibacy for this split. I'm just saying, Brazil's got a lot of hot chicks.
Dude, I know. I had this discussion with lovely wife Carol, and I'm like, no, he's going to find a Brazilian baddie, and then it's like,
exactly.
Kind of like his personality, and I showed him like his Instagram feed and his Twitter presence. Like, oh yeah, like no, he'll be fine down there.
Yeah. Just say, Griffin. Okay, so fingers crossed. We'll see how that kind of goes with.
As someone with a father who went down to Brazil for work and eventually found himself married with 2 kids down there and stayed for 10 years, and then my dad's older brother was essentially I'm gonna put Uncle Mike on blast here a little bit, but he's doing fine now. But like he went down there with my dad. This is a true story. My dad was down there for 6 months at that time, and then Uncle Mike, who also again white Midwestern Michigan, didn't speak a lick of Portuguese, was effectively kind of unemployed and just like I'll go visit Joe, that's my father, down in São Paulo, right? And just kind of couched over them for a while. Then my dad eventually was like, look, Mike, I love you, but like, are you gonna leave anytime soon? Overstay your visa, right? Like, and he was just like, oh yeah, there's this girl I met. Her name's Ruth. She's very nice. I think got introduced by I think they like my mom's family knew her family or something. I forget how they got introduced, but like then my Uncle Mike. Okay, the timeline is dad gets to Brazil. Dad gets to Brazil. Dad starts dating my mom. Uncle Mike gets to Brazil. Uncle Mike starts dating Aunt Ruth. Uncle Mike marries Aunt Ruth so he doesn't overstay his visa. Then my parents get married. Uncle Mike got to Brazil and got married in a 6-month span. And then my parents got married, and then I was born 3 years later after that. So like, look, Brazil doesn't agree with everybody, but for the people that Brazil does agree with, the results speak for themselves. The 90th percentile of outcomes is life changing.
Sure. Hey, Griffin, that's a challenge. 6 months for Uncle Mike. Can you beat the record?
Exactly. Come on, you thought iron to challenger all 5 roles is tough? Come on, get a real challenge. You're 18 now. Act like a man.
Okay, and on to the last question we got from Lunar in the mailbag. If you were to compare LTA South teams to fish, what's your thoughts on which fish they would be? Her example is Pain Gaming is a Plecostomus. Big fish in a small tank still sucks when on top. So just for image purposes, so you know what a Plecostomus is. It's like a catfish.
A bagri.
Kind of. Yeah, she's basically calling Pain bagri, I guess.
What is going on, dude?
I don't know. I don't know fish as well enough. You know what?
Literally, you were killing it. Your first 2 questions were like, I'm not even joking, probably the 2 best you've ever submitted. You submitted some good ones. Your first 2 were phenomenal, generated great discussion, loved your takes. And then you drop this? Come on, man. All right, well, you got to give me a... All right, I'll cut some of this out afterwards, but or maybe I won't. I don't know. Maybe this stays in.
I
don't know fish.
I don't either. You know what? I'm gonna take the cheap way out before takes it. I'm gonna say Isurus is like a shark.
Ooh, that's stupid.
Okay, like that's like a basking shark. If I go, that's the one with like the wide open mouth, which like just runs at stuff and then doesn't even like really bite. It just keeps the mouth open and just.
And then by the time it opens its eyes again, it's no, we're in tier 2.
Yeah, and it might end up choking if it sucks in the wrong thing. So see how that goes.
There we go, basking shark.
I think it's a basking shark. Chat, correct me if I'm wrong. Just comments below. So I'm not a shark specialist. I'm not a fish specialist.
Yeah. RMC and I famously non-fish specialists, non-ball knowers in the fish.
Talk to me about tree climbing turtles and maybe.
Loud is a a lionfish, one with the big,
Okay.
flashy, kind of spindly, like it's very showy. I think is what I'm trying to.
It's also venomous.
It is also venomous.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like if it was a land animal, allowed to be a peacock. I guess. Leviathan is a kraken. It's a leviathan. Ha. See, it's not that funny, is it, RMC? When you just say the logo, say that.
I know. I thought it was, or it could be like a big blue whale. It's big.
Let's see. Who's the clownfish? Who's Finding Nemo?
What are the attributes of a clownfish?
I don't know. Very at home in danger because its home is a sea anemone, which are poisonous, or like they sting, right? I don't know if they're poisonous, venomous, right? Or what? By the difference between poisonous and venomous, maybe we all knew this, but I got this clarified from recently. Poisonous is you touch it, it poisons you. Venomous is it bites you, and you get poisoned. So,
interesting.
Fun.
I never really thought
fact.
about it, but yeah.
Yeah, no, neither had I. But you're like, oh yeah, that makes a lot of sense. But anyway, Pain's a lionfish. Fluxu. Okay, no, Fluxu is Nemo specifically. Fluxu W7M is Nemo specifically because it has one big fin and one tiny fin. One of those is Fluxu, one of those is W7M. I'll let you decide which one is the big fin and which one is the one that didn't work.
Okay. Yeah, that's good.
But has big kind of underdog energy. This split. That's what I'll say. I think the people's champ. I think is Fluxu W7M, which is crazy because I was their biggest hater last split, but now they have an actual roster. And look, they have Fu, so I'll always be a fan of them because I want to see Fu get out of Hilo hell.
Yeah.
But
actually, wait, Leviathan. I'm gonna go the opposite of like the whole like here's the simple thing. Speaking of Finding Nemo, they're Dory. They're blue, and they can't seem to learn their lessons, and they seem to forget what the hell they're doing like halfway through the game.
No notes. I think that's a great pick.
So who do we have left? We have Furia, Red, and Cade?
Furia, Red, and Cade. Yes.
Okay. I think Furia is a shark right now. Like they are top of the food chain. Great white shark, I guess.
Yeah, or a killer whale or something.
Yeah.
Red, one of the two.
Red and Cade. Cade is like, what kind of fish would be like?
They've got some Dory vibes about him.
Kinda. Red. Okay, Red is like a puffer fish.
Maybe Red is Nemo. No, Red's a puffer fish. Red's a puffer fish.
Like they are dangerous. They are toxic, but if you prepare them right, they taste damn good. Like if you know how to handle them, like you can rip them apart. I think. But
true. Okay, yeah. I like that.
What is Cade though? Cade is. Are Cade a catfish? Would we say that about them? Probably not. I think Miri's been delivering. So.
No, Mira's been good. Yeah, like so far. Again, they're kind of they're on shaky ground, but so far so good for Cade.
Man, this would be just easier with land animals. I don't know enough fish to.
Are they like a stingray, maybe? Or a jellyfish?
What, you want to piss on them?
2025? I don't king shame.
True. What are the sort of like things about stingrays? What is?
I don't mean like you like if you're not careful, sort of like the puffer fish thing, where like if you're not careful, you can like step on them and then they like I don't know, or like a sea urchin maybe. Which again, it's a delicacy in some parts of the world.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, Singapore eats stingrays.
I'm gonna ask ChatGPT.
What would ChatGPT say? If Vivocade stars in League of Legends was a fish, what fish would it be?
Vivocade stars League of Legends team was a fish, what fish would it be? There's his 2025 League of Legends team. What fish would it be? All right, let's see.
Maybe it's like is it an arowana? Like those big expensive fishes that rich people keep? No, wait, that would be more like pain actually than Cade.
Okay, this actually isn't terrible. I gotta give ChatGPT credit. I kind of cooked here. They'd be a piranha.
Okay.
Let's get into it. Aggressive, coordinated predators. Piranhas aren't the biggest fish in the river, but they're feared for their relentless teamwork and explosive bursts, much how Cade plays when they get momentum. One misstep by the enemy, and they swarm. They thrive in chaos. Piranhas excel in turbulent waters, kind of like how Cade loves to fight in scrappy skirmishes and jungle collapses rather than slow macro games. A regional icon. A piranha is native to South American waters, just like Cade is a staple of Brazilian esports. They're a classic regional threat that you ignore at your own peril. An underdog with bite. Maybe they're not always title favorites, but like a piranha, they punch above their size, especially when they're underestimated. Basically, they're small, fast, and dangerous, and always looking for blood in the river.
Wait, that's crazy. Yeah. Wait, ChatGPT gave a better answer than we. Holy crap. Okay. What are their thoughts on Leviathan as a fish? I'm actually really curious now.
What about Leviathan's 2025 League of Legends roster? They'd be a giant squid. Yeah, not technically a fish, but roll with it because Leviathan is named after a legendary sea monster. Their low roster carry is the same. Okay. Height meets unknown. Deep water operators. They don't play surface level league. They dive into macro plays, vision traps, and jungle setups. No, they don't.
They don't. Okay.
All right. I think we'll keep ChatGPT's reputation intact.
They're 1 for 2. That 50-50 ain't bad. Better than Leviathan's record. So I don't know why I took a shot at that. Sort of.
They did it to themselves, dude. We'll be professionals on the broadcast, but on the podcast we can be a little more solto.
True. Well, that's all the questions in the mailbag.
Yeah, that was fun. All right, you know what, Luda, the question redeemed itself.
ChatGPT redeemed us. And
yeah, I had more fun with that one than I thought I was going to. All right, that's it for us. Check us out. Same time, same place. 8 o'clock Pacific, 11 o'clock Eastern. I think 1 o'clock Brazil time. Still in the summer. Yeah. You follow us on Twitch, LTA South. Join the community Discord. All the links are always in the YouTube description and the Spotify description of this episode. So if you don't know where to go, it's right there. Join our Discord server. It's a good time. Join the Fantasy League, which is pinned in the Discord server. If it's not, I'll pin it there, and if not, I'll add the link to the episode description, so we can do that. Follow us on Twitch, on Twitter, on Blue Sky. Follow us individually if you want or don't. And yeah, that'll do it for us. Week 2 is going to be a lot of fun, so we'll see you there. Thanks for watching.